Why would I vote for Donald Trump? Well, if he decides to pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and all the whistleblowers with them and recognize them as American heroes and heroes of the world, then I'd vote for President Trump. If he stops attacking guns and decides not to try and push for so-called, evil social credit systems, that's total communism. That's evil. That's like literally evil social credit system that China is doing. But of course the liberals love that because they want us to be enslaved. That's the new institution of slavery. So if President Trump realizes that that's the most un-American thing in the universe, and he decides that's an evil thing, then I would vote for him. Why is President Trump so interested in such a plan? That's a question I have. If President Trump will become pro-gun like he said he was when we elected him, and he'll stop banning gadgets and gizmos, parts and pieces, guns, functions of guns, bullets, magazines, whatever, and realize that guns are not the problem. People doing bad things is the problem. You can do bad things with anything. You can do bad things with a car. You don't need a gun. Guns are used correctly 99% of the time, and that's actual statistical fact from the FBI Unified Crime Statistics for the last 6 years in the United States. Why would I vote for President Trump? If he stops trying to divide the land of Israel and give away the land that God said belongs to the Jewish people, if President Trump stops trying to divide the land of Israel and give it away to the Arabs and the Palestinians, the Philistines, if he stops trying to give away the land that belongs to God and that God Almighty has said belongs to the Jewish people, that's Jewish land. Every scrap of it, every square millimeter, every square inch, every grain of dust, every pebble, every tree, every stone, everything in Israel and Greater Israel belongs to the Jewish people. And it's wrong to give it to anyone except for them. And it's wrong to try to take it away from them. And it's wrong to try to convince them to give it away. And it's wrong to cooperate with the Jewish people if they themselves are trying to give up the land all on their own, even if no one else is telling them to do it. They really believe that they want to do it. It's wrong to cooperate with them. If they're doing something that's wrong, you shouldn't help them. If President Trump abolishes mass surveillance is the civil rights issue. It's the corruption issue of our day. The Second Amendment is the civil rights issue of our day, and mass surveillance is the civil rights issue of our day. If he stands up for the Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment, and the Second Amendment, and says that our right to free speech is protected, our right to guns of all types and weapons and vehicles of all types and kinds, everything. And yes, I mean absolutely everything. The point of the Second Amendment is so that we can fight the government if we get a tyrannical government that gets out of control. That's what it's for. It's not for hunting. It's not for self-defense. It is, but that's not the main purpose. Those are just extra. The main purpose of the Second Amendment is to preserve the independence of the people from their own government in case the government goes wacko, like they did in Germany in 1935. The first thing that Hitler did was register then ban all the guns.